Yo, what's going on, guys? Today's piece of content, what I'm going to cover, before I dive into why TikTok isn't like Facebook and you need to stop treating it as such. If you do not know, I run a complete done for you ad agency for TikTok and ECOM brand owners who are looking to pivot to the TikTok platform. We can help you, whether that's through our paid ad setup, whether that's through leveraging our network of over 100 influencers to then help your brand grow organically, or whether you just want us to create UGC for you, right? We can do it all. If you're interested, booking a call with me, I would love to walk you through our process. Now let's dive into this piece of content, right? TikTok isn't Facebook. Of course, everybody knows that, but some people still try to use content from Facebook to TikTok. It doesn't work like that. You're just going to blow through your ad budget, right? If you want to leverage your authority and when you want to be smart in this game, you have to understand how the TikTok algorithm works, right? Couple things for the organic side of things, right? When you're on the TikTok platform, the first thing you see is your For You page. Well, what is your For You page? For You page is content that you've consumed in the past that's going to show up in similarities so that you can keep scrolling, stay on the platform as long as possible. The way these platforms make money, especially TikTok, is for you just to be on the platform and spending all of your time on it, right? The more time you spend on these platforms, the more they make you money because they can display a set amount of ads to people's faces, and then they're making money on the back end from brands who are advertising on these platforms, right? So, on the organic side of things, you have to understand how the algorithm works. So, in order, if let's say I started from scratch, I had a TikTok profile, and I wanted to grow organically, well, I have to understand watch time, right? Well, what does watch time mean? Well, the amount of time somebody spends on your specific post, right? That can be the number of replays they watch it, right? Let's say if somebody watches a piece of content over and over again, well, they're more likely to watch other pieces of content you've created in the past because you've got their attention already, right? So the more replays it has, and the more people view that specific piece of content over and over again, well, it's going to get shown to more people because the algorithm's thinking in the back of it, it's based off the data. It's like, well, this person's consuming a lot of content. Let's show it to more people. And the more people watch it, they'll show it on the For You page. And then the more likely people are just going to stay on the platform, right? So you have to understand watch time. You also have to understand the algorithm isn't going to push your content to be seen on the For You page if it doesn't capture the attention and doesn't get people to sustain and spend 20, 30 seconds on the platform per clip. Well, how do you do that, right? Couple of things that you can do in the back of the way you shoot content to make sure that it sticks and gets people to watch it organically. You can utilize, I'll cover this as we break this down, but I want to stick with how the algorithm works, right? Engagement. The more engagement a piece of content has, whether that's through likes, whether that's through comments, whether that is even through shares, right? That's just going to get shown to more people. So the last aspect of it is number of times content is being replayed. This whole formula is used to really generate, okay, so it separates the quality content from the not so quality content. And I know this is very, very basic, right? This is basic algorithm 101. But when you understand this and keep it into account, the way you shoot content now is going to be very, very different. So a framework I use for my brands and our clients to go viral on the organic side of things is we have to create content that gets a lot of views. It isn't hard to master when you understand how to grab the audience attention. Whatever niche you're selling to, whatever niche you're promoting in, right? You have to capture their attention. Why would they want to watch your clip compared to somebody else who's maybe been in the space longer than you, right? So we don't want to create short clips because you can create a 5-second piece of content and that's going to get replayed more than, let's say, a piece of content that was 15 to 10 seconds. There has to be a baseline. You have to draw the line in the sand. Short content isn't always better, right? Content that's maybe a minute, yes, you might get less views, yes, you might get less engagement, but it might be the people that do watch it, right, are going to stick and watch it all the way through, right? So you have to find a middle ground. You don't want to create too short content because people don't really, 5 seconds and then they just forget who you are. So you want to make sure you create content in the baseline, right? For the organic side of things, I recommend anywhere between 15 to 20 seconds in that frame, meaning that at the very beginning of the piece of content you're shooting, you can leverage a couple things. You can do a couple tricks, a couple hacks. Number one, use like trending sounds. Trending sounds is so a hack that you can just capture your audience, right? If you look on TikTok, you look at the trending sounds, there's already a ton of people who've engaged with the specific sound. You have people creating content tailored to that specific sound. Each sound has like their own theme or own structure, right? So then you could hack that and kind of funnel hack that in terms of, or as I should say, audience hack that, and kind of create content that's already following that framework, but using that same sound, but you're adding your own spin to it. That's one way of it. Shorter clips equal a higher chance of someone watching your video all the way through, right? The 10 to 20 second mark is great for organic growth. People's attention span is low as it is. If they look on your For You page, the most viral clips are 10 to 20 seconds if you do your research, right? This allows you to watch the content all the way through and even watch it again. So a couple hacks to leverage attention already generated. As mentioned, use trending sounds. People are familiar with what they have on their For You page and are more likely to watch a video they've seen other people shoot before, right? I don't know if you've seen it with your For You page, but let's say it's a couple songs in place. You understand the type of content that's going to be shown when a specific sound is playing. In the video shorter than the necessary length time it takes for somebody to watch it all the way through. So let's say you create a piece of content that's 17 seconds long. Let's say you cut it by 2 seconds, 15 seconds. So let's say you have subtitles going across the board. When somebody is watching the content, they're about to finish it, but it ends at that 15-second mark. At that 15-second mark, you display the whole caption and the whole sentence ending the specific video, but people have to watch it again to get a clear understanding of how did this piece of content end, right? That's one way you can use to really get people to watch the piece of content again and to get them on a loop. This will just in turn boost engagement. Interact with your own comments by answering a question with another question. Simple hack that will increase the response rate and increase the number of comments you receive, right? So I see times where brands on the organic side of things, a specific prospect asks them a question in the comment section like, oh wow, let's say we're selling shoes or this brand was selling a piece of footwear. They say, oh wow, like what's the sizing? How does this work? And then you can literally just reply with a question with a question, right? You can say, oh wow, well this is how it fits, tailored to these specific people in this demographic, right? What shoes have you tried in the past, right? You ask a question or you answer a question with another question. This is just going to in turn create like a thread, similar to Twitter, similar to how people have threads where people comment under other people's posts asking questions, they get an answer and they ask more questions, right? Simple hack that you can use to then generate more attention, more engagement, and so that you can get seen on the For You page quicker. So this was just organic side of things, right? What you can do is, instead of people consuming TikTok content and just wasting their time, consume the content, but take a step back from a different approach and a different perspective. The perspective being, what is this content doing on my For You page? How did it get on my For You page? How many likes does it have? How many comments does it have? Does it have any shares? What was the framework they followed? What kind of sound did they use? Let me put that in the back of my mind so that I can implement it for my own piece of content, right? So that was just the organic side of things. The paid ad side of things on TikTok is 90% reliant on how well your UGC is put together. If we're selling a product people have no idea about, we have to structure it in a way that makes it get impulse purchases, right? So we must create content that tells a storyline, right? The framework that I like to use is intro, hook, bridge, before and after, and call to action. This framework is easily how you get impulse purchases. Clips no longer than 20-30 seconds with the storyline in place that calls out the market's problems and offers your brand as a solution to their needs, right? When you create an intro, you have to capture the attention. When you have the hook, right, this is like the frameworks like or I wouldn't have known this if I didn't do this sooner, somewhat along the lines of that. Then the before and after results, right? It's very important that we have the before and after. Why would somebody want to purchase your product? Well, they have a pain. They need a solution to that pain. We drive that to a call to action. So, as mentioned, clips no longer than 20-30 seconds. This all comes down to, are you providing the script that works well with your influencers that you do bring on? Does your influencer know information about the brand and the history about the brand? As well as, you need to vet your influencers. Your influencers needs to know the importance of lighting. They need to understand the importance of following a script, but also adding their own unique twist to it, because we don't want our influencers sounding just like basic robots. And of course, you have to have the right influencers to get the right result, but also you need to have the script that sells. You need to have a story-motivated process that's efficient, that gets attention and gets click-through rates in order for you to succeed. So it's a lot of moving parts, but in terms of how I vet my influencers, we look for prior experience. Are they already posting content organically on their own TikTok account? Do they know how to read off a storyboard? Do they have an understanding of the basics of lighting and how to provide a great presentation when shooting UGC, right? We're mini directors. It's like we're shooting a film with a movie director, right? What do? Well, they have a freaking 100-page script that an actor or actress must memorize. And they also have, when they hire actors or actresses, right? They're testing between like 1 or 2 when it comes down to the end, right? They do a bunch of proofreading. They do a bunch of testing. Like, you read this practice script. How do you portray it? Do you invoke emotion? Do you invoke urgency? Do you create the storyline that I want to portray in my movie, right? The same way a movie director does this with their film, you have to be the same way when it comes to promoting your own offer on TikTok. So make sure your influencer aligns with your brand. Make sure your influencer has the right customer avatar you're trying to target. When they shoot content, make sure it's congruent to what you're selling, right? Let's say if you're selling a protein shake, they can't be making protein shakes in their bedroom, right? Doesn't make sense, doesn't align. Make sure you have it laid out, the content aligns with the brand and the product you're selling, and make sure you display the end result. So with that being said, hope you found this valuable. If you're interested, you want our done for you offer, hop on a call. You'll talk to me directly and I'll walk you through our process. Thank you, and see y'all guys in the next video.